Hello guys, today I'm going to talk about the liquid soap and I'm also going to show you how to make liquid soap. But to start off, we're gonna see a bit of its history. One of the theories of the creation of modern soap is the following one. In 79 AD, when Vesuvius Mount erupted and destroyed Pompeii and Herculaneum, which are in Italy, a soap factory was among the industries that were encapsulated for prosperity by the ash. This soap factory used animal urine that was poured on top of animal hides and walked through by Roman workers, as we can see in this picture. Urine has ammonia and it is another way for forming soap when it combines with fat, which are fatty acids. As Vesuvius erupted, the soap factory was covered in ash. When natural rainwater mixed with the volcanic ashes, it created a lye solution, which combined reacted with the residual animal fat from the factory hides and fleeces, and then was heated up. This produced a potassium salt, also known as potassium soap. It is thought that the Roman poet Pliny the Younger was the inventor of soap, who was a surviving witness of the destruction of Pompeii. This first soap was very soft, as the base used to make it was potassium hydroxide. Nowadays, it creates liquid soap when mixed with added water. Now we're going to move on to the liquid soap making. So for the lye solution, we're going to need 135 grams of distilled water and 57 grams of potassium hydroxide at a 89.5% purity. Please check your purity of your potassium hydroxide. If you have more or less, you have to recalculate the grams you need to use for distilled water and potassium hydroxide in a soap calculator. As we know, we need water plus potassium hydroxide to create our lye solution to be able to make liquid soap. Next, we have the measurements and the ingredients we're going to use. For a total patch weight of 405.26 grams of soap, we need 75 grams of pig tallow, 75 grams of coconut oil, 50 grams of olive oil, 37 grams of castor oil, and 13 grams of almond sweet oil. Before starting the soap making, we need to clean our working area and disinfect it. We also need to disinfect all the materials we're going to use. This is the same as when we're going to make a bar soap. In addition, we also need to use cleaning vinegar to cancel the effect of the potassium hydroxide so you don't burn your skin with the soap. Also, please follow the safety measure as potassium hydroxide is as toxic as sodium hydroxide. We're gonna start making the lye solution. As we can see here, I'm pouring the potassium hydroxide into the water and mixing it very well. We're gonna pour the potassium hydroxide bit by bit and not everything in one go. Following this, we're going to measure the temperature of the lye solution. It's actually at the optimal temperature of about 45 degrees Celsius. So we're gonna just let it on the side so we can start melting our oils and fats and then mix it together. As I said before, we're gonna now start melting our fats and oils. Here we can see again how much we need of each fat and oil. So now we're gonna start melting our fats and oils. We need to heat it up at medium heat, as we can see here. Next, we're going to measure the temperature. It needs to reach about 70 degrees Celsius. give in or take 10 degrees. So as we can see here, it's still not 70 degrees Celsius. So I'm going to continue, let's say, cooking the oils and fats till it reaches this temperature. Now we're gonna pour the lye solution into the oils and fats, and we're gonna do the hot process. So keep in mind that we're mixing these two solutions while heating it at a low-medium temperature. So while you mix the lye solution with the oils, all during this whole out process, the pot needs to be heated up. We're gonna see it go into 5 different phases. The first one would look like apple juice. Then the second one will start looking like a thick applesauce or like smashed potatoes. And lastly, you're gonna get like chunky chunks of soaps. However, you're gonna still need to mix it a little bit more. You may also see the soap becoming a bit like glycerin-like soap in this phase. However, this will depend on the fats and oils you use in your soap recipe. And this particular recipe didn't give a very glycerin-like soap at this stage. However, when the soap is finished, and you mix it and melt it with water, it became a very transparent soap. The mixing took a very long time, about 1 to 2 hours. So to fully pass all these 5 stages, it takes quite a long time. So don't worry if you take up like 2 hours. As we can see, I reached the stage where you can't mix anymore. So we're gonna let it cook at low temperature for 2 hours. We're going to check every 15 minutes because sometimes when the soap is cooking, it can rise so high that it may overflow the container. So it's to keep in check that this doesn't happen. Or 2.5 hours, the soap is finished cooking. We're going to store it in the pot, which we cooked it in. We're gonna cover it with a few damp kitchen cloths or kitchen paper, and then cover it with the lid for 5 to 6 hours to let it finish saponifying. Now we reach the final step to make the soap liquid. After the 5 to 6 hours, we're going to make a solution of 1/3 of soap plus 2/3 of water. I recommend you to use distilled water instead of normal water. Then you need to add an 8% of the chosen fragrance into the mixture. You're gonna let the chunks of soap disintegrate with the water and fragrance. This usually takes up to 24 hours. And after this, you can add anything extra. For example, in my case, I added 1 gram of golden mica to have a glittery-like liquid soap. I hope you enjoyed the video and thank you for watching it. Please like and subscribe to my channel. Bye! See you in the next video.